ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Welcome back, Dreamleague Season 14, powered by Intel. Brame versus Hellbears is our lower division series here in the Western European lower division DPC League. And it's game one. Both teams having a good shot here, although Hellbear Smashers coming in as the favorites. We can see if Brame regains some of their older form, and we're joined by BSJ, who will guide us through the draft. And when I say us, I mean me and Odie Pixel. Moxie's getting ready to commentate the series. So, Brian, these two teams, do you have any special expectations?
I just expect Hellbear Smashers to do their thing. So far, pretty much every series we've watched them, it's been very dominant performances. Yeah, they did drop that one game, but they just look like the higher caliber team every time they play. So I'm looking for Brame to step it up and for Hellbear Smashers to keep the status quo.
All right, and we are already starting with the Shaker banned out, as we have talked about Shaker time and time again, and we probably will talk about Shaker every time he is let through in a draft because it's such a strong hero. Does mean that Keeper of the Light hero that we normally see banned out first phase nowadays is still in the pool, but Hellbear Smashers, they pick up Oracle, Tofu's Oracle.
5 seconds.
Yeah, and they're bans as well. Not surprising, as me and Mox were talking about earlier. You're playing against Skylark, you take away both of these Necro book heroes. Definitely his two most comfortable to play right now, and he's a little too good on them, especially the Beastmaster. He's definitely one of the better Beastmaster players here in the division.
And the first pick, Puck, Brian. What are you thinking of the openings so far from what we're seeing?
I like these type of bans when you're playing against a team that you think has to step up their game to beat you, because you just don't want to give them their best heroes to beat you with. It's like, okay, if you're going to beat us with something that we know you don't play 10 out of 10 optimization. So they go for the Oracle Monkey King. It's a very reliable opening.
5 seconds.
I assumed the Oracle is going to be followed up by something like this, a Troll, Monkey King. Carries that often can't be first rounded because of their counters being like Phoenix, Venomancer, all these long range magic nukes. So Oracle just makes these heroes pickable. I think Hellbear Smashers has put themselves in a really consistent spot. Their openings always look pretty solid. Monkey King seemed pretty scary so far this patch, as long as people cover the bans pretty well. And they go for the Ursa. This matchup goes both ways. It's nice that you can stun the Ursa from Fog, so you can set up a potential bursting him before he uses any of his spells. But at the same time, if Monkey King gets caught on trees, or before he pops his ultimate without all that bonus armor, he kind of just gets shredded as well.
Yeah, and into the second ban phase we go. We got the Break banned out from the Viper, the Coddle still removed as well. Any other usual suspects that you want to see removed, Owen?
I mean, I guess really looking at the fours, yeah, that's exactly where they go. Smashers taking away the Earth Spirit. Of course, they themselves play it very well, but I guess, you know, they don't want to roll it this time in their draft. And it's definitely one of the better fours from both, yeah, either Stominen or Gilga. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some other those sort of playmaking heroes taken away here, as especially for Brame's lineup. That sort of aggressive four is going to pair it really nicely with the Puck when it comes to those rotations.
Yeah, I would expect to see either Shaman or Phoenix banned here as the last ban if you want to continue targeting Stomanen, as those are some of his more successful heroes. On the other side, Brame has been banning out heroes that are just annoying to deal with as an Ursa, so we got the Veno banned out as well, so some slow removed. Anything else you'd be worried about when you're playing Ursa? Any other hero, Brian, that you don't want to play against?
There's other heroes that can be annoying, but these are the only heroes that counter you pretty much all stages of the game. Laning stage, they're a complete nuisance, and then it's eventually hard to fight into them as well. So by banning these out, you enable this first pick Ursa, first round Ursa, to either have a rough laning stage or maybe counter late game. You can't do both usually unless they dedicate multiple picks to do so. I'm perfectly fine with their bans. I think this second pick, 4th overall pick, is a really nice slot. Pick your carry or a mid where all you have to do is cover them with a few bans. Oftentimes when the patches don't give you, like when the drafting doesn't have this many bans in the second round, this wasn't really possible. But with this many bans, the 3 bans to cover it, it definitely seems more viable. I've been noticing Death Prophet do really well against Ursa. It's not a matchup that seems bad on paper because Death Prophet is bad against Burst, but she just kites you all around and most notably can do damage to you while running from you, which is really, oddly enough, strong against Ursa.
Spirit Siphon, and you're probably going to run faster at that point than the Ursa as well, so he will have a tough time catching up as well.
No, you're so
frustrating
fast nowadays when the ghosts are out.
Yeah.
And Brame, there's that. I mean, likely to be the 4, right? I don't think Scarlet's going to be playing this. It should be Stominand.
Yeah, we've seen him play block at least once.
And this is great. You know, now you've got some sort of way to scout through the trees. It's going to help you find the Monkey King a little bit. You know, it's sort of just a little awkward all around for Monkey King to play into, as long as Clock's in there at the front, sort of breaking him up the fight, because sometimes even get the opportunity to push him out the Wukongs with the cogs if he gets the angle. Dark Willow in though, could be very nice against all 3 of these heroes from Brame. You look at the Puck, the Ursa, the Clock. These heroes want to initiate, they want to jump in on someone. If the Dark Willow's positioning is on point, as it's likely to be here with Gilga, again, just one of his best heroes, he's going to be able to send these 3 back every single time. Prophet coming through as a 4th pick though. I mean, it's always good to see this hero. And again, another way to sort of help deal with the Monkey King. You're going to be able to knock down his trees. And now you're going to have some pretty good global presence here between heroes like the Clock, the Prophet. I mean, even the Puck with the range that you can jump in from. So a lot of map mobility here from Brame's lineup as they're going to be able to sort of put pressure on in multiple lanes at the same time.
Yeah, there's 2 ways to respond to that pressure. One, you have a hero like Bat that can rotate, potentially kill the people applying pressure or D-push. Or 2, you just pick a hero that also applies pressure himself. Good matchup against the Puck mid. This Willow, what I like so much about it is I'm going to selfishly talk to my pub teammates here, is if you guys have a Monkey King carry, he is all about making the opponent go on him. Like, he buys an Ags, he stands still, his soldiers are, you know, he's racking him up, and he says, guys, go on me, I dare you. He doesn't really want to jump on the opponent all that often. So having the Oracle as a save, but now the Willow as that area of effect deterrent that's going to disengage and reset the fight is really nice. You want one hero that punishes them 3 or 4 man focusing the Monkey King. So really well-rounded conceptual draft.
You've got to ban the Mars here, right? I mean, I imagine that this will be Stormstormer's DK if it maybe it isn't, but Mars just seems too perfect a pick here for Hellbears. I mean, you teamed up with the Monkey King and the Willow. It's just insane. You got a decent lane against the Ursa. You got fantastic catch. They do ban the Bat. I mean, as you mentioned as well, another hero that would be good against them, but I think the Mars is maybe even more scary. And if they do go for the Mars here, this feels like it's sort of over.
Is another hero that Rasmus has played quite a few times is the Tide? Is that still a threat, or you don't want to play Tide into Ursa?
Tide does still do a great job. I mean, how rough is sort of the Tide into Ursa lane, Brian?
I think it's more so that you already have the guy that stands in front with the Monkey King.
Yeah.
And the DK. So Tide, I think, is fine, like for the team fights themselves, but usually with Tide, you're like, okay, we need somebody that puts themselves in their face and gets initiated on too. And I don't think they need that, but it's an okay lane, just because Ursa, a lot of his nerfs in the past were actually base armor nerfs. So he's at about 4 armor, I think. So the Gush can actually be quite potent against Ursa being able to be aggressive on you at all. So I wouldn't hate the pick, but it might be a little bit too much of the same thing. Mars, on the other hand, is more about the go on one of my teammates, I blink in arena, spear somebody. And it's also a nice, one of the best melee matchups against Ursa, just because you are slightly longer range than the standard melee hero. and you do represent a pretty decent amount of physical damage yourself, so that Ursa's scared to trade with you consistently.
Well, it'll take a long time to think about it. Honestly, I'll be a little confused if they don't get Mars here. But I'm normally confused.
Pango.
Pango? I mean, Pango's still great, right? It is going to provide some disarm against the Ursa. It is, again, another hero that's going to be crashing through the fights. I don't think it's going to be as easy to play as the Mars. I still would have preferred the Mars here. But I guess, yeah, it still has its merits, Brian, here. What do you think about the Pango ending?
5 seconds remaining.
I think they want a similar job in the game, but a hero that doesn't die to clockwork.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for. Like, I think they gave up a bit of the simplicity of team fights for the simplicity of playing the map. It's like now this Prophet Sprout, this Clockwork Cogs, they don't have a reliable lockdown for this Pango. And once it hits 20 minutes, the coil no longer is good against him anymore because of the Ag Shard. So I don't mind it. Sometimes you have to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
They think their team fight is strong enough already. And Pango, it's not like he's a bad team fighter.
No, not at all.
He's just not nearly as well synergized with the Dark Willow.
Looking at Brame's lineup, there's a lot of flexibility still possible with their heroes. Are we missing, like, we see the bans from Hellbear Smashers are targeting mostly the mid lane. Is that because you don't want to have a puck put up against the Dragon Knight? Or are we looking instead for perhaps a more Spartan here?
I would be surprised if they first pick puck and leave it against the DK. I think Hellbear Smasher's perspective is if they choose to leave puck against DK, we don't give a shit what they pick. So we'll just ban out the mid laners that could cause the DK some potential issues. SF super obnoxious because he does threaten the beefy high armor DK with those raises, and similar idea with Pugna, just sustained powerful magic damage super early on in the game. And
Wind Ranger
Heroes.
still doesn't give a lot away in terms of who's done what, though. Let's see who they pick up. Taking their time here. All right, so it will be the support puck and Skylark Nature's Prophet with the Wind Ranger in the middle lane.
I think DK does pretty well against Wind Ranger. She eventually will probably go the Javelin as early as possible so that the high armor gets torn through, but I think Hellbear Smashers, I think they just have the more well-rounded draft. I think they're going to be able to play the map. I think Ursa's going to struggle a little bit in lane due to the fact that he has a 5-position clockwork or 5-position puck. I think Monkey King, he's countered in theory because the Prophet to scout him and Clock to scout him, but that lane should go pretty well despite being early rounded. So I just have to give the draft advantage to Hellbear Smashers here.
All right, thank you very much, Brian. We'll come back to you at the end of the game. Brian thinks Hellbear Smashers are going to take this first one. Owen, what?
I think I've got to agree. I've got to agree. I don't think what Brame has is bad here. I can see them getting stuff done, but I am a little concerned about the Wind Ranger. I do understand, as Brian says, you are going to be able to get sort of the Javelin. You're going to have some sort of magical damage to take down these heroes. It's another way to sort of mess with the Monkey King. He's going to be jumping off trees most of the time. If you get a good angle, you're going to have the opportunity to shackle him. But it's still a Wind Ranger. And overall, I do think that from what we've seen with Hellbear Smashers and the way they play around Ace's Monkey King, especially when they have such a strong saving support as the Oracle, this is just something that they're so comfortable with, and I think they're just going to be able to play a little bit better than Brame here with this lineup.
And we have seen Wind Ranger mid once, I believe, so far, at least in the lower division, only once. And that was on Stormstormer, who was able to win with it. So he'll know how to play against a Wind Ranger as well. Curious how that mid lane is going to go down, and curious how this first game is going to happen. We're going to head over to Moxie and Fog to find out.
So much, Shiver. And you know what? We do get that Wind Ranger, and it seems like no one's particularly pleased about this pick. Fog. How do you feel about it?
It's a Wind Ranger, you know?
Tell me.
Not
Very
exciting.
succinct.
You know, not much of anything. It's just, I was actually hopeful that it would be like a Wish Tinker or something like that. I was really hoping for something bizarre, but no, it's just not exciting. You know, it's Wind Ranger versus DK. That doesn't sound like a bad matchup for DK. DK sounds like it'll be fine, and I really like the Hellbear Smashers lineup. I think the Brame put themselves really hard spot this game,
30 seconds.
especially with this last pick Wind Ranger. I don't see how it fits and brings the whole draft together.
Storm's
Turnabout, but this start.
That is a very good start because they should be able to give the. Oh, it's gonna be Spartan who gets the final hit. They were trying.
Duly noted.
Okay, Shdo, what a god. He just is in the position. He's aware that the guy's gonna go check to do the ward check. So he goes to the spot where you're in tower range. He skills cogs. Like you don't get cogs at level 1 on Clockwork. You got cogs because you just knew the situation was happening. Godly positioning.
Look at that. Oh, still Ace gonna be able to grab up the rune, but yeah, you know, some of it in a lot of the other games, especially the last game that we saw Brame played, was one of the MVPs. Positioning is just off the charts. So definitely interested to watch him and Gilgear here duke it out as those positions or see what kind of plays that they can. Haven't seen quite as much the Dark Willow. Seems popularity, but still the potential to make some pretty sick plays.
Yeah, I'm actually a pretty big fan of the hero right now with just sometimes you're feeling like you're lacking. A lot of these times I'm feeling that these lineups are lacking damage. These from the 4 position, and when you have these super tanky offlaners, Willow just addresses that in a lot of situations. Also really good when you have these core heroes that just need a little bit of extra lockdown. They'll have the damage provided. Willow gives you so much lockdown, and Gilger, he's also getting trapped up a bit. Look up, he's got boots though, he's fine.
Fine, he just lured a bear into a bramble patch and got stuck on his own brambles. It happens. This is actually funny because usually, you know, we see, especially in our post-game interview, we talked about, you know, give Spartans something that is a little bit more durable. And he actually did quite well the other day with the Dark Willow pickup. So I wonder if that's one of the other reasons that we're seeing up over the side of Hellbear Smashers, just kind of deny Spartan life ability.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
But
I think Gilger's opening is right. I think he's kind of stuck on you're playing Nyx or Earthshaker, you know, because those heroes are just so damn good. So now, you know, if you can always open up your 4 position, you know, that's why we see Yapsor playing it, Secret. They're also very similar on that train. So. Spartan, sorry.
Rasmus is not going to be happy about that for sure. You know, maybe Gilgear will die at some point and he can bring him his items. We've been seeing a lot of that as well.
Yeah, not the strongest bottom lane, to be honest with you. The Willow and Pango, it's more of like a volatile lane. You can get these kills if someone's far out of position. The lane strength in its duality is not really, especially not into Ursa. I feel like Ursa's gonna farm very nicely down. And Spartan, he shouldn't be at risk of dying. Only way that the puck dies is if he just really misplays with his own. Yeah,
I was about to say, have you seen SSA Spartan play? Sometimes he's really, you know, YOLO, gets in there and is like, we're going. Shouldn't die the key. But Stomanen saying, guys, I'm going to suicide. It's going to be fine. But Stomanen again, you know, he's got those cogs up. And Tofu looks like he is going to go down here. Stomanen going to be able to walk away. They need another hit and they don't have it. The Treant's just chipping away here on Ace as he tries to find an opening through bottom lane. Rasmus maybe just a little bit too far forward here. Focus will be able to collect Gilgear. Just putting out a couple of these hits. More damage zone. I don't think he has it because Spartan's going to rejoin, protect his Fuzzy Wuzzy here, and be able to be fine in the bottom lane.
Nice stuff. Yeah, the Ursa and the puck lane is pretty strong, especially versus Pango and Willow. They're doing a good job there. We're seeing mid. Wish is really, really falling behind. That's why I'm curious to see why they picked this matchup, because they put this position. They knew this DK is going to be mid, and it's just a winning DK matchup. It's easy. So. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how it's going to bring together the draft, because I'm not seeing it for lane. And if you don't win lane as a Wind Ranger, then for me, I don't know why you really. Hero is just not that great. Just isn't.
I mean, they took out a lot of the mid options because they figured that the puck probably was. Perhaps this is the one that Wish felt the most comfortable. It's left. Does give you a little bit of tower potential, right? Focus fire. But yeah, it's definitely not a. There's not much that lane's super strong against.
No, not really. Not that many just bullies him. In fact, so all these like big spellcasters like Lina, you know, the ones that can nuke the waves in and just actually hit him and harass. Wind Ranger just doesn't hit hard enough and doesn't have double nukes. They only have the single nuke, so you can't actually pressure DK whatsoever. And the other thing is too, they picked it into a lot of disables, and they picked it into Oracle. You get your Wind Run dispelled, you have Brambles, you have so many different stuns that you have to play around. I'll stop talking about the Wind Ranger.
It's okay. The other day, you know, we heard how much everybody hated the Lycan pickup, or not Lycan, sorry, the Lifestealer stop, and then Tinker. There's always that one hero, right? That people love to hate and harp on at the drafts, but then sometimes, you know, it surprises you. Oh, the final hit over on the courier. The stun comes up, though. I think Wish is probably going to pay for this. No, he's got the haste rune. Bottle up right again. Already used the fairy fire and cheeky, probably.
Yeah, he really needed to kill, at least get some type of stuff. He's getting 31 to 9 to 6. He's getting destroyed. But not much you can do. We're seeing at least the Ursa still free farming, and nice move here by Spartan. He might be able to actually secure bounty because of that.
Could actually man fight Gilgear here. Shadow Realm, though. The fairy fire, throwing out the orb, goes forward. Oh, he's trying to make some cheeky plays here. Waiting, Rift final hit comes off. Down goes Gilgear.
A pity.
Very nicely. Individual play
Close
was.
to die.
Yeah, that was pretty. He dodged the Shadow Realm all nicely. And we're seeing a 2k advantage already off the lanes. Even though mid is going this poorly, they're having their top lane go pretty well. Nature's Prophet's having a good time, and Ursa's absolute farming. This is all still good signs for Brame, even though their mid's not going well.
And I think that's the nice thing about having Skylark on this Prophet is he's apply pressure towers and also to ganks, plus the fact that Snowman, he's shown to be very adept on this clockwork and a lot of things happen. So yeah, you know, usually you mid, and that's usually the ones that you want tempo coming out. Oh, nice. Got themselves a double damage. But
Yeah,
I think it works out.
It does, and he does have the Javelin Rush too, so they could actually set up for Stormstormer if he's not careful.
Well, looks like he wasn't super careful, though. They do have the cogs up. Lots of damage here. Can they get the final hits off over onto Stormstormer? Down goes the dragon.
Very nice. I'm seeing this so much more. DK is starting to become extremely popular. He's always been a popular hero, but he's starting to become even more so. That we're seeing this so often now. It's like 5-6 minutes, DK hits 6. As soon as he used DK form, they bring 3 heroes. I've seen this so much now. Either you bring your offlaner or you just bring the 2 supports to gank when you do get a decent amount of damage. And the trigger was Javelin was done on Windranger. They even found a DD to boot, so it's just a perfect setup for that kill. And hey, he's actually ahead in net worth now over the DK. Cares if you think it.
Gilgear, Stolmanen getting it. Yeah, forces him forward there. Cogs, and down goes Gilgear. I have to say, Brame, like, they had their Wheaties this morning or whatever it is, because sometimes, you know, they're off to a little slow start, but today, the foot's on the gas pedal. I like it.
Yeah, it's super active, and with them getting this early game with a hero like Nature's Prophet too and Ursa, it's all about this like early snowball mid game where, you know, there's a lot of action that's going to start kicking off. And Skylark, he's getting close to 6, so we're going to see that Wrath of Nature soon get ready to bounce around, and then that's another element of damage that Smashers has to be prepared for. So we could see Brame set themselves up for some really nice ganks around that. I'm already seeing Shto smoked up. He's looking for his own play. Constantly on the prowl, this Clockwork. I'm really liking the fact. So
this is how Stolmanen plays. This is how he's been playing consistently. Smoke will break. Dragon Tail comes out. Just can't quite hold him down into place. But they do force out the teleport. SSA Spartan is way over as well. Gilgear. Here are these runes, but where is it? Top or bottom, Bog?
They're bringing the 3 people. DK form is popped. They're making sure that they can just surround him with 3. Yeah, bottom rune. But it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm really liking this. Brame is on point, like you said this morning. Just really knowing exactly what they need to do versus this draft. And with this Ursa in the bottom lane too, they actually can leave him alone a lot easier. That's why we're seeing the supports able to just surround. Ursa's got a free lane. He's versus a Pango. Pango can't actually bully him by any means at levels. Yeah, very good stuff.
I like the wards that they have up out from the side of Brame. Just keep tabs over in the triangle. They know like rotations that might be put. Or, gangs. That thought.
Their bases.
Tofu, Wrath of Nature. We talked about the amount of damage coming in. Stolmanen chasing out from body blocks coming out here with these Latrians. Ace will actually go and use the ultimates, so like Stolmanen will be forced away. Doesn't decide to chase right now. Around, farm up some of these.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And JJ, I did see that. I saw you pointed that out. That DK form, he hit the tower at the end of his DK form, but because it ended, the corrosive actually didn't get applied to the tower. That was some weird. Huh. Or script, sorry, apologies. Apologies, my beautiful observer.
Servers do not get a day off, guys. They are hustling all the time. Wish, man fighting here. Stormer. Do you have a rotation coming in, though, from the support? Snowman trying to rejoin up. It's a good shackle. Will hold them back. Snowman throwing out the cogs. Wants to make sure that this Wind Ranger is totally fine.
Okay.
Play a little bit more pressure on the mid-tower. Spartan rejoining in, though. Not level 6 just yet. We'll just poke a little bit. Push
They don't want to
away
lose
from
this
the tower.
Yeah, they want to try to keep it up as long as physically possible. Bring all the spammers. Now Sto, they will walk up, but set up on the and that tower is almost dead. So they have done a great job of slowing it down, but inevitably the DK, he's reigning supreme, especially with a little bit of a road.
Are scanning.
A little something extra
You
for the
might wish to retract your last greatest tragedy
Are
of our
picked up.
eon.
It's gonna start making real. You saw in the middle lane, you know, you've got a Dragon Knight, right? Dragon Knight is always going to want to place pressure, try to take the tower, but they've had several attempts now and they still have not been successful.
And now we have 10-minute. They're really forcing it in. We have the 10-minute catapult wave. So this one, I mean,
Oh!
has some time before it's up, and they're gonna go on him before.
Hook shot from Stallman, the blink for it, or rather the 3-0 forward. They get the kill onto Stormer, and there's a lot of teleports coming up right now. Rasmus uses the Rolling Thunder. Is try to go, just hold this Nature's Prophet into position. Puck having a difficulty here. He does have the illusory orb, should be able to go away, but you also have Focus over on the back line. So Spartan will go down. Focus trying to find an opening here. He wants to get this hit over onto the Pango. He will find it indeed. Now Gilgear forced back. We'll have the DK up in about 8.
Dyer's middle tower is
Moxie, you are absolutely right. Look at Brame. They did have their wheelies. All 5 of them collapse on mid in no time. That second catapult, they're like, no, you are not taking our tower. We're going to take your DK.
Look,
Showing up with everybody. They're going to get this tower probably here.
and I have to say, the position from Stallman has been so on point.
Dyer's middle
Yes.
Just always in the right place, right time with either the hook shot, the battery assault, or just using the cogs to push them away. In fact, they're doing a great job here being able to zone using their circles. You know, we keep joking,
Yeah.
this is a patch of circles, but it does feel like it lately.
It really does. When you said that the other day, I was like, yep, you know, we got Circle Dota, Mars, Monkey King, Phoenix, everything's kind of like a circle. It's all radiuses. Even Puck, Coil, we've got Waning Rift as well too. And Spartan in that last one, you mentioned the supports, you know, Stahl, his position. It's actually, I'm thinking just these two on point. These two are really understanding the early game, how it's supposed to be moving around, and I'm loving the rotation. Both the Puck and the Clockwork actually always being at the right place at the right time, and even the little silences. Catches the silence on the Oracle there when they're making the play on the DK. He's not able to get any type of save. Sure, he doesn't have his ult, but a Fate's Edict plus a heal. These little things are all just being addressed right now for Bremen. Get themselves in a good spot. 3 advantage, 9-1. Ursa free farm going for Battle Fury. Looking hot.
Coming up brains so far.
Wait, he has Battle Fury. This is a problem for the Smashers.
bottom tower is under attack.
That is a big Ursa.
That is a big old bear.
Dyer's
Bottom lane, though, is getting pressured by the Smashers, so they are trying to find any sort of space that they can do, and Ace is trying his best as well, but we've
Dyer's
got,
structures
yeah,
are
2
fortified.
faster than average and stuff. Stallman, we talked about this. Stallman, he's always in the right place, right time here. He breaks the smoke, manages to force him back with cogs, and you just see Skylark and Focus do what they do best, which is, well, I guess the Bear's better about, you know, murder, but pushing the towers. Bottom lane, they'll find themselves a Monkey King. They'll have some Focus Fire going on off the side, but they do manage to slow down this Angelier. He's not going to be able to get in the thick of things, so over on the back end, though, do you see the rest of the team coming out from the side of Hellbear Smashers? They're just chasing this little clocky boy, and they'll be able to find him, but they spend a lot of time and resources chasing after him.
That was a Wrath of Nature and a Puck Coil used though also from attempts to try to get that. So I think they're okay with using a couple extra ultimates to themselves a Clockwork Hook. Brame, looks like they want to still be postured around here. The DK form was used. Stormer, find an upper. Hitting tier 2 towers a little bit too early to risk that position, especially when they don't have Pango ult. Well, they're gonna back up. They're satisfied with this, but I don't think Brame's unhappy either. Like we said, the Ursa is just an absolute beast. All 3 cores farming. They're in a good spot right now.
He's already 2k net worth ahead of Ace. There.
That's
It's wild. He's just had the free run of the land. No one's telling him, no, don't hit these creeps. As Wish gets a kill on Gilgear. The Nature's Prophet teleport down.
Do we have the Orchid finished on the NP? I'd assume that. Yeah, Rasmus having to go for the Yules. That Orchid's going to be built up. He's also versus Puck, just naturally need some way to protect himself versus Coil and Silence. Yeah, they're quickly falling behind. And this Ursa, he's farming at a much faster pace. Wind Ranger's keeping up / passing the DK. So yeah, Hellbear Smashers, they got to be active. They have a blink on DK, so they can be. They want to try to surround our top, play around their Pango in particular. Set up here. Stoll walking in.
Yeah, he did. He was all smoked up, so it looks like he is going to be the one who tanks the gank here. Down he goes. Rathanade. A little damage out.
That's fine. I mean, that's a couple times
He
now
takes
he's just
those.
tanking the gank. Yeah, and I feel like this game he's actually just gonna play he's gonna play that 5-position clockwork. Even though he's supposed to be playing the 4 role, I think the Puck getting the farm is just a little more important. At this point, it's just easier for him. Clear waves on.
Their vision game is just so strong, too. The
Has
fact
been.
that you've got Spartan who likes to run in with this, first of all, but then also the fact that, you know, you have a Nature's Prophet, you have a Clockwork, these posture themselves forwards or, you know, move around the map and get that vision going. And that's always been so important. Dota is knowing exactly where people are and then find them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As we are seeing top, Rasmus is going to try to set up for Skylark. This should be a pretty easy kill. There's a rotation of focus is already coming up. So is Wish.
They need to be careful here because they'll turn right around. Looks like Skylark. Oh, but the Shackle comes
The Shackle?
in. It almost manages to save the Nature's Prophet, but Gilgear is going to pay for this with his life as both of them go down. Brame making the buddy rotations here, collecting themselves a 2-1.
And that's why they picked the Wind Ranger. Like you said, like we were talking about, Wish is just comfortable. Nice, beautiful Shackle. He's still top 2 net worth. And hot. And I'm actually glad you did point out the wards because I was going to say how Brame, they did something I don't see a lot of teams do is they triple warded their own jungle. So I'm usually just seeing people placing their own, we put like 1 ward in their jungle to just watch if the enemies swing through normally.
Yeah.
And then they mostly put it around like the enemy triangle or around the enemy jungle in particular. That's very rare so it just tells me that they're hunting and expecting Ace and more of Smash to play down here. But it's just rare to see all 3 wards.
I feel like things calm down just a though. Feels weird to see a DK lineup fall behind, especially because we expect so much from Stormer. It's been a real standout player so far this season. It's like this time every time, it's not even that he's playing badly, it's that Brame is playing so. Every time he pops the dragon form, all of a sudden, surprise, you've got all the supports here, and that also forces the side of Hellbear Smashers to spawn, which gave Ursa a start.
Yeah, they just set themselves up really nice with lanes, and supports just made phenomenal moves. They had these good. Stormer.
He does have backup with Rasmus, but I don't think he realizes. Yep, Dream Coil gets used the silence immediately. The Yules will have a bit more time, though. Nature's Prophet joining into the fight, though. Down goes Rasmus, and this is not looking great for our friend Stormer, as he is just slaughtered. Fertilizer for the Dreams Fog.
Really is. This is just a really, again, I feel like I'm having like a memory to yesterday, just how good teams are playing and how quick they were playing when I was watching Nigma and Nigma yesterday, and then I'm just seeing this happening again. 7k advantage. They're taking over Roche, taking over enemy jungle, taking tier 2. It's all the right moves. This is just really good stuff. And
Dire's bottom tower is under
I don't know if
attack.
Smashers is going to get to the point where they want to actually play their draft when they have like BKB, DK, and all this. They might just be out of the game by that.
Now you've got Puck, who's picked Blink Dagger, so it's better. You got an Aegis. Bear jumps in, everybody starts jumping on the bear, and then you just follow up with the Puck.
Dire's top tower is under
Dream
attack.
Coil and the really nice draft, honestly, the way that they're playing this.
Yeah, they're just running away with it. They're not letting Hellbear Smashers like prepare themselves and set themselves up for all this. They're just getting there before the preparation and before like all these heroes are set up. They're always getting there too quick for Smash. Now Gilgear spotted.
Immediately Shadow Realms. He is definitely dead
Super
here,
dead.
though. No way that he makes this out. Down he goes.
Not stuck in cords.
8k gold. 16 to 4.
Attack.
The perfect bear, 5-0. And
He's focused.
literally.
Yeah. I have to hold
Please
myself
laugh.
off from saying that one like 10 times, honestly. Like, I just see it, I'm like, he's farming, he's really...
No, every time I heard the focus thing on panel the other day, I was definitely Like, I wanted to make a joke, like, be like, I see what you did there, but I knew that they weren't going for it, and that...
Laughing on the end.
King
Clockwork
up
has
in
a-
the tree. But
Ladies.
Spartan can just zip away. This is a hero for him.
The ward gets instantly dewarded. We start still seeing Smashers protect triangle.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
A lot.
Oh, man, look at
heroes
the
and
impression.
Rasmus.
Hook shot coming in from Stallman. He's found himself the Oracle, and that power shot finds his mark too as SSA
Dire's
Spartan
bottom tower is
cleans
under
up.
attack.
Stormstormer is now just being bullied by Skylark here. Bleeded, Dream Coil gets used over here. Willow just gets stunned and obliterated.
They're just getting caught out all over the place, especially the two supports on the side of Smash. The two supports on Brame are heavily outplaying the two supports on Smash. They want to be able to set themselves up in lanes and actually be able to have this like 4 or 5 man fight or something for Smash. It's never happening. Brame is catching 1 or 2 heroes on the transit every single.
Maybe they can find a kill here. Yeah, they'll find they smart.
Get the one.
No, the mid lane, so take that.
Dire's bottom tower
And they do have
is under
Stormstormer with the BKB now, so now he's a lot safer versus the spell damage, but the Ursa is going to eat him. As you know, this Ursa is tremendous. Blink, I didn't see what his next item already is. He's probably on his way toward the Bash here, whichever one he chooses. This Ursa is really going to take over.
First time in history, the dragon. You should way around.
Yes.
Sorry, Fogged. I know you had a late night. I was just making dumb.
No, you're good. I'm just not feeling my 100%.
All y'all, sure.
Smoke.
Got this. You're doing great.
Okay, BKB. Jesus.
Yeah, he's a big bear.
Harmed.
Here, you know what's about to happen to you? I guess not, because down goes the fairy.
Saving Coil, too. They make that play with just a little silence, and then they can go keep making plays elsewhere. Skylark.
Oh,
has
look at
BKB
that
the very
rocket.
top.
They immediately know. Hookshot comes in,
Yeah.
stuns up the Monkey King, separates both of them. Stallman, man, he is just bringing it. And I love it. Oh, they can
Tofu.
see you, Tofu. Down you go. As now Ace is just running away, hopping in the... Wants nothing to do with this. This bear still has an 8... Still has a BKB. That...
They're actually just running from hero to hero, just killing them. And Smashers just aren't prepared for this whatsoever. Everyone just still split up and farming.
Stormstormer says no, but on the back line here is Ace. Cuck Spartan just a little bit short on that, so he is going to go down. They managed to find themselves a kill. The blink forward here over on the side. Looks like Stallman should go down. He's got that blade mail, though, and he's got the essence ring. He's buying himself a little bit more time. Rasmus is just chained up over here in the corner. Do find the clockwork. Again,
They
those are
finally
just the two
punched back.
supports.
At least something, though. They needed something to start going in their favor. It's just started to get out of control. Brame is just walking from lane to lane, killing anyone who shows. Hellbear Smashers now at least grouped up as 3 or 4 properly. I feel like they're showing a bit too much on these supports as well. I'm watching Tofu just showing in lanes a lot on this Oracle, and he should be really just playing behind people. I just saw him do it like 2 or 3 times where he shows in a lane and sit. He has to just literally be playing right behind him.
Follow the monkey.
I think so. I think he has to be playing a lot more paired up with Ace. His power is really with Ace when, you know, that lifesteal kicking in, you get a false promise and you turn the fight entirely because when Ace is finally online and ready to actually fight. Maelstrom and Ags is finally done. And they can definitely do some fun bait plays, especially now that Aegis has been they do have a bit of a strength for themselves with rockets.
There was one in the bottom lane right by the tree. Like, they just instantly, like, threw it out. It's so on point. It's actually insane. And he's gonna run right into Ace. Hookshot comes in, holds him in the... It's got the Aghanims over the back line, though. The Ursa is getting hit. But they still are gonna be able to just take down Ace. He's not even allowed to be a part of this fight as they go forward. Yet again, that BKB on Ursa paying off. He's just chasing Tofu. But does have to be careful on the back line, so supports are going down. Buyback coming out now from Ace. He's mad that he wasn't a part of that fight. And they have to be careful because they don't have an Aegis any longer. Tofu throwing out the save, so they finally slay focus. They did require a buyback from Ace, which... Not what you want.
They were split up again. I didn't keep track of exactly where the Oracle was, but I'm seeing Ace being chased for a while. I feel like you have to connect with him when he was being chased for that entire area in his own triangle. Again, the Oracle couldn't find an opportunity to ultimate save him. He was cut off from the rest of the heroes on the left side. Yeah, their positioning is just It's a little weird right now from Smashers, and they're getting punished a lot by Brame. Finally, though, we said able to come back and get them. So now they get some breathing room to be able to farm a few items.
God, look at the net worth disparity. Like you've got the Ursa and the Nature's Prophet up top. Trailing behind is of course your Storm. The best they can. I mean, the Wind Ranger's definitely been suffering, and we talked about not super loving that. But we have a fireball picked up.
He did. Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I've been hearing a lot of mixed things about this. I
Okay.
hear from some players that they think it's conceptually and really cool, but then I also hear that it's conceptually. You're this poor hero that doesn't want to spend this. As
Spartan.
they will find Spartan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I like
No,
the idea
I
of the
mixed
fireball
both
just for
of
more AoE, right? We talk about this being joking around. This is Circle Dota. You've got, you know, the Monkey King's gonna have his ult throw down, you know, the fireball in the middle of it. Maybe a Bramble. You know, you've got so many wombo combos, not to mention roll on up.
Yeah, I'd prefer to him have his own actual buildup of items, because they're gonna pop BKBs. Wind Ranger's gonna be speeding around with Wind Run. Puck's gonna be jaunting away. They're not gonna stand, but it's fine. You know, I've seen a lot of people just. Some people really like it. AUI Curtis really likes it. It's all just in the eyes of the beholder.
Preferences. And I think that's the fun thing about this patch, right? Is the fact there's so many things that are added that we're trying to figure out what's good and when is it good.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing like a lot of variations of just builds to where it doesn't matter what you're playing up, so you just go this build. Like we see Gilger, probably gonna die right here,
Yeah, I would say so.
but he's going just straight Aghanims, which we saw Yapsor do. But you could see a lot of arguments this game for him going for Yule Scepter, something like that, right? He's playing versus Ursa, amazing versus in range. Spells silences off himself, but no, he's just going straight for the Ags so it feels comfortable. People are just doing whatever they want, right? Blink and Bastion.
Yeah, that's scary.
Now the actual man fighting is a lot more difficult. The Monkey King inside the fray versus that Ursa, and they really have to have Tofu in position.
Reminds me of the Viking game. Celery was just on point with all of his.
Yeah, we do. He has a hard time because there's so many different vision aspects. A NP TPing behind him, a rocket, a power shot, just so many different things that can potentially. So it is hard, but he really has to get a little. The hope is Stormer.
Stormstorm, yeah, okay, they went a little. Oh, Skylark though turns around, he finds him. Be able to go. The shackle to the GG over to the side. Actually gets a little bit past him, but down will go Stormstormer. And the rest of the team now. You see some of these teleports come out, but they're like, no, we're not fighting here. Everybody get back.
He went for the attempt with the GG branch. It went right through it, but you know, he went for it. He went for it.
Yeah, you know, style points. Respect that.
And that's a pretty big kill. I'm surprised Stormstormer actually didn't pop the BKB because he had a good amount of time to actually be able to do so. He just let himself get shot, thinking he wouldn't get the backup in time. And now it's right around Roche. And again, Smashers just all split up a lot this game. They're just way too split up this game in comparison to Brame, who's constantly hunting them and finding them all isolated. Much better team play coming out from Brame.
He picked up on Ace now, but it feels like he's just not allowed to play the game half. Hunting is interesting because normally I would say you'd see a Clockwork and you'd be going after Toph. It's gotta be going after this orb. But they've just gotten like so, I don't want to say lucky because I feel like they're using their sense very well to realize, okay, we just saw a monkey over here. We'll throw out a rocket. We'll get a pick off. There's another pick off going on while they're talking about that. Rasmus goes down. And again, Stolmanen, a big part of that. It feels like Ace just has not been allowed to actually play Dota.
Yeah, it really does feel like that. And it feels like Brame, they're playing their style, which is exactly what their draft wants to, is go for the pickoffs. Don't go for these straight up big 5v5 engagement. Killing heroes when they're split up. While Smashers, they want that 5v5 engagement, and they've never had it happen. Not once in this game yet have we a good spawn with like a Willow ult or anything following up. It's just not there. They'll find Spartan again. Small pickoff.
Is that finding Spartan, or is that Spartan running very far forward? That's all part of the plan, according to Stolmanen.
It is, right? It was a DK ult forced, right? And then he's going to respawn. There's going to be no DK ult, and then maybe they feel strong.
He's playing 4D chess while everyone...
How much damage did Fireball do? Oh, wow. That's quite a lot. Actually, no. I mean, it did like 200 something.
That definitely sounded very sarcastic, though.
I know.
Oh, yeah, that was,
I don't know. I'm mixed about it.
Oh,
I'm mixed about it. It's just weird on like these. It's because you're like a carry DK. That hero. When you look at some other carry-esque heroes, they have these amazing shards that just fit so well into the hero. Like Ursa, you know, 3 enrage on your 6th.
Like he'll be going for that shard anytime. Like next agenda is of course deployed, and Focus does have to be a bit careful. Oh, he's got the BKB. They don't care though. He's jumping right in after Ace. He doesn't want to allow him to do anything in this fight. This BKB is purely defensive right now, Fog. He just goes down. He isn't allowed to do anything as Tofu just closed upon in the backline. Spartan poking away at him. Does have to be careful. I feel like he's still, uses the Dream Core. This is the most SSA Spartan thing I can see as he just dives on in, waits for Focus, and they collect.
Beautifully done though by Spartan. We're seeing Focus get chased, but he'll be fine. He just focused onto the Oracle. He got the silence onto him. They played on him. He stuck vision. Skylar TP's in, gets the Bloodthorn onto him, and then Ace is running with his BKB, but there's no save for him. There's no false promise.
Spartan?
He's down for 70 seconds.
Spartan's approaching from the side of the base I don't think you expected. Stormstormer, though, the Terrorize comes through. Raz trying to disrupt, but Stormman again with these cogs, he just pushes them forward. They get the kill. Down goes Stormstormer. Rasmus, he's about to roll out of that Rolling Thunder, and he is just absolutely toast.
Godlike Wind Ranger, last pick.
It's working. You know, we all giggled at it, but making it work.
Yeah, I didn't have too much belief in it either, but the way that Brame played, now I have belief in them as forced the G out. They didn't even let Hellbear Smashers play their lineup. They just dismantled them on every single setup. From lane to lane, they just were killing heroes, never letting... Did a false promise get killed?
Yes, on himself.
Okay, on himself once, I think, right?
Yeah,
So
there was the
they
fight
just
over by
didn't
the tier 2.
They didn't allow them to play their draft. I feel like they actually just did such a good job of applying this pressure and never letting this Hellbear Smashers line actually team fight.
the first series, we saw Hellbear Smashers targeting Gilgir's hero, Stormana's heroes in the banning phase, second banning phase. So they want to secure his hero early on with that Shadow Shaman picked up.
I like this as well. Get this spirit. It's not going to get through on the second phase. It's not going to get past the second round of bans, and it is Gilgir's best hero.
Yeah,
they might go for the Clockwork, but the Earth Spirit maybe not quite as good against Shaman. Like you said, it is his signature.
5 seconds remaining.
Before the series, we said that this was going to be largely a battle of the fours.
Mm-hmm.
And them getting their heroes early on to make sure that they have their strengths there. It's a definite showing of that. We got an Ursa coming out also for Brame. An early one of that. We obviously saw Focus with a previous game, and it worked out great.
Yeah, I mean, he played it perfectly. He looked incredible, and I think he's looked at these first two heroes, and he said, you know, I don't feel too bold about playing into them. I guess the silence can be irritating, but very likely that we'll see them pick something else up that's going to at least keep him separated from these heroes if they do break in onto him. And at the end of the day, if you're not killing that Ursa during the silence, he's going to very easily turn around and especially once he has the Basher as well, deal with both of these heroes rather easily, having that extra control from the Shaman.
I'm curious to see how the Ursa does without such a favorable lane. I think last game, the Pangolier matchup's not terrible. I think Ursa will win, but it shouldn't go nearly as bad as it did. And I think the game's always going to look upside down when the Ursa has a 12-minute battle fury. There's not, if I'm a carry hero and I'm looking at the opponent carry and I see a 12-minute battle fury, I'm kind of just shrugging it off and saying go next.
10 seconds.
Obviously they tried to come back to the game, but it's sometimes the lead is just insurmountable. So if they can manage to give this Ursa a bit tougher of a time, I think it'll go a long way in this game too. Earth Spirit is nice because he can protect himself against Ursa. He's also consistent disable against Ursa over a long fight, and he's also an instant silence to prevent the enrage going off. They've got the Earth Spirit to initiate, Puck to follow up, maybe just a little bit more damage on top of it for the gank squad against the Ursa will make it very easy to bring him down.
Do you think it's unlikely they'll go the route of the Monkey King again here? Do you think they want to try something different, or do you think that wasn't necessarily the problem last game?
I don't think a Monkey King's all that bad versus Ursa, but I wouldn't willingly pick it into this much single target focus.
Sure.
I'm already leaning towards an illusion hero, PL, Terrorblade, maybe Naga if they play it.
Dire team battle.
All these heroes are really nice against Shaman and Ursa because the best thing you could do is just not present yourself as the carry. Don't give them the target to go on. We saw late game whenever Ace was caught off of trees, the Ursa just hit him and kept hitting him. And you want that to not be a viable game plan because you've got people to go in for you already as a carry. So now you just need to make sure you're not the guy getting gone on. I think it'll be nice to have an offlaner like Tide that we mentioned in the last draft, and then have a carry that's more swings into the side of the fight or more serves as a pick and choose his battles, PA, PL, Terrorblade.
We saw previous game, Brame banning out a Death Prophet as one of the counters to Ursa. This time they pick it up for themselves.
I mean, I like this. You know, you've now got the ghosts, you've got the wards. You're going to have a lot of pressure. We saw how fast Brame was able to play last game. Now you've arguably got even better ways to take these early objectives. So if they do get the ball rolling like they did first time round, I think it's going to come rolling even faster this game with what they've opened with it.
Very chill couch in the back. Invoker coming out. That's an early one coming out for Hellbear Smashers. Now, I do think we've seen Stormstormer played a couple times before, and he was victorious on it.
Yeah, he's a top Invoker player. I think it might even be his most played hero, right?
But picking it that early when you don't know, like, that Prophet could be 5.
They've done it before. I think when they're concerned, it might get banned out. And yeah, sure, the DP could be a 5, but I think that's unlikely. I think it will be mid. Maybe won't, but either way, I don't think Hellbear Smashers care too much. We've seen Stormstormer play the Invoker against some sort of unfavorable matchups as well, and he normally does fine. He goes for this Exhort build, and already going to have a fair bit of setup. already. So the Dream Coil alone, that's going to be able to hold heroes down, allow them to drop the full combo, and make it very difficult for them to get away from it.
Pick seems a bit arrogant to me. The Puck is meant to be a flex hero that
That's true.
you don't reveal that until as long as possible, and you straight up said it's not a mid laner anymore. I think it's just a bit early to reveal that. I like the idea of delaying Ace's pick till 4th or 5th. I think Wraith King also comes to mind. That hero's still in the pool. It's not the best against DP though. I just love PL specifically here because it deals with the Shadow Shaman wards. One of the few summoned abilities now that still doesn't take less damage from illusions. Like they made it so Undying Tombstone, Pugno Ward, all these things take less damage. Like it takes more instances of attack from illusions, but Shadow Shaman wards don't. And then you also want longer fights because you're against DP, especially now that they committed with the Oracle.
I mean,
you're not winning this fight in the first like 5 seconds if you're Hellbear.
Yeah, and I think this draft from Brame looks very good.
Yeah, it does.
like
knowing how they can play last game and now seeing them get this combination of heroes, you know, getting that Oracle after DP. I mean, they do go for that Wraith King you say about Brime, but you still you expected it, but it's not necessarily what you feel would have been the best hero to see it.
I really would have liked the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah.
Just it didn't do amazingly yesterday, but I do believe it was about as good as it gets for the game. The problem with Wraith King against DP is that DP is one of the best heroes at dealing with the reincarnation. You're meant the best Wraith King games are games where they use all their spells, they kill you, you reincarnate, and then suddenly they don't have their spells anymore. But with Death Prophet, she kills you with the exorcism, and then you respawn on top of a exorcism Death Prophet, which doesn't feel like the ideal circumstance that you want to come back to life inside of. But it's at the end of the day, it is a very, very potent hero in this patch. They ban out the offlaners that give it some early issues. I think both carries are going to get off to a nice start. If we can see the Wraith King be like 2,000 or 3,000 net worth ahead of the Ursa, I think Hellbear Smashers will be in a really good spot. But I believe it is the opposite of last game, where I think the lanes had to go really well for Brame in game 1. I think the lanes have to go really well for Hellbear Smashers here in game 2 if they stand a chance of against this mid-game momentum.
We got the Nature's Prophet removed last here for Brame. They also have some question marks as to which role is still needed for last pick. Obviously, Puck could be offlane. Could be 5. It looks like Brame is just keeping their options open as well with those 2 bans. We got the Timber Saw and the Tide banned out on the side of Hellbear Smashers. It's quite clear that we are lacking a Skylark hero on the side of Brame, which are still in the pool. You got the Mars still, of course. He also is one of the few players that really likes to play Legion Commander. Not always with success, but had a couple of games on that.
Underlord's nice here too. It's not the best against Invoker, but the Root is really good against the other 3 heroes. Similar to Death Prophet, you die in the Root, spawn in the Root. Really nice against the supports. Both of them have mobility spells. But they might want to go for a more rotation-heavy offlaner like the Mars. It depends on if they want this death ball or if they want a little bit of everything. Depends on what this last pick from Hellbear Smashers leaves them vulnerable to, I think.
Yeah.
Right now, Hellbear Smashers, they have a scary lineup to fight into if they get all their items. Invoker needs his items. Wraith King needs his items. I like how Kyle usually highlights lineups that are XP dependent or item dependent. And oftentimes the XP dependent ones are the pace setting lineups. So we see this, we have 2 greedy cores on the side of Hellbear Smashers. I hated the Razor pick the other day, and it worked out. Not for them particularly, but it was an last pick offlane Razor. I believe it was for Tundra.
10 seconds.
And it worked out fantastically. So the whole idea of this Razor is to just slow down the Ursa. Just let his teammates get their feet off the ground.
And now that we've seen the Razor, does that leave Brame vulnerable to anything in particular? As in, does that mean that they want to counter anything particular?
I don't know what they're going to get for Sky. I mean, I'd still like the Mars. I think Mars can work kind of nice against Razor. You know, you get that spear on him, you're able to sort of split him apart from wherever he's trying to run down with the Link, the arena.
You need a kill threat on Razor at this point, I agree.
And you're just going to have a solid setup across the board. But then again, we were expecting Mars to appear last of the draft last game, and it was ignored.
Yeah, so far Skylark hasn't played a Mars yet in this DPC league, and we'll see him play a Solardar this time around.
This hero makes me feel a bit weird this patch. A lot of the offlaners represent a ton of pressure that you eventually need to leave. Wraith King, he's low base armor, but he builds into early armor. So he deals pretty well with Slardar once he gets a few items, the Phase Armlet in particular. I'm really back and forth. I think it's going to be so... If this game is even after the lanes, I really like Brame. But I think Ursa's going to have a much tougher time in game. But I actually don't know. I'm going to predict Brame, but I think this Razor could be quite potent. Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. We'll talk at the end of the game. Owen, you're heavily on the momentum-based team being Brame. Do you think that they can set the same type of tempo and will be able to run away with this one as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think if it was any other team, and if Brame hadn't had that first game, I wouldn't be I wouldn't have too much belief in the Slardar pick. This hero is just... There's just so much else to sort of pick from on the offlane. I guess this game, a lot of offlaners were banned out, so they were sort of funneled into this. It obviously does have its merits with the physical damage that they're going to have coming out, and the pace that they play. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I think Brame are going to do it. They really did just crush them in game one. They're going to have that flow, and whilst I prefer Hellbear Smashers draft, I'm just more convinced by Brame today, and I think they're going to take it 2-0.
All right, well, let's find out if you are right or if Hellbear Smashers can force out that third game to the series. We're going to find out together with Moxie and Fogged.
Well, I talked about it earlier when I was on the panel. I'll pose this question to you now, Fogged. Is Gilgear on the Earth Spirit going to be stronger for than, of course, Shadow Shaman being played by Storm?
Yes. I love when Gilgear's playing his act. I think this is what they should probably be going for more often. Willow's just a volatile hero. I think that one's really hard to make work, where it's more of like a team effort, while when you're playing your Earth Spirits, your Earth Shaker, like these heroes that he's very comfortable on, you can dictate the pace. At least so. Much happier than he's playing on this. I do see a lot of greed coming out though. The Invoker, which we know Stormer, how he plays it, he always goes Exort, he always goes Midas. Same build, he never deviates. So I'm a little worried about their greed, and I feel like Brame could.
I'm almost wondering too, like we talk a little bit about sometimes how the mid players have a bit of ego, and Stormer definitely struggled in the first game. Okay, I'm wondering if he was like, you know what, give me my Invoker, because he does look good on that hero. But it came out really, really early, and like you said, his build's pretty transparent. I feel like they could definitely...
Yeah, they have good heroes to collapse on him too. Something that Invoker really doesn't like is a hero like Slardar, Ursa. These heroes just get on top of you so quickly. Ursa also has his built-in range to be able to get on you very easily, clap and all that. So yeah, I feel like it might be tough, but he played fine last game, right? Like he got owned by team play of the opposing team and didn't help him. They put him on an island. So maybe this one, you could be right. I think he'd be being like, hey, I can do more as an Invoker no matter what the game.
Yeah, I think part of that, it wasn't that he played badly, it was that Brame played so well. Yeah. So every time he popped the dragon form early on in the mid lane, they just always had two supports to make a rotation, force rotations out of their own support, and then just, you know, really punish it. Definitely interesting to have a better game here. It's always more fun, more of a battle coming out from that mid lane, but also the Razor pickup too. That's something that we've seen occasionally now. I think we saw it in one of the matches. Can't remember exactly which team picked it up, but everyone kind of was like, yeah, no, this was a horrible pick. I was casting with Purge, so I think it was like one of the CIS games possibly, and he was saying... Yeah, he was saying he didn't like it, and then he did something really well, and I felt like a lot of it was actually vision-based for why he did as well. Purge changed his mind. It's like, yes, Moxie, this is the perfect game. This is why you should all be picking Razor. Flip-flop so fast. It was funny.
Well, I've seen both. I've only seen it twice, and both games was first. It was just this deterrent to shut him down in the games. Actually, I may have seen him a third time where he just completely got owned by the Monkey King, where he didn't end up winning. But either way, I've been seeing a lot of reasons why they're picking it. It's just to shut down a lot of these like 4 protect one core in particular, where we are seeing that Ursa, he can be a bit vulnerable to that, but it also goes both ways. First, it gets 2 ahead. The Razor Link isn't going to happen because Razor just dies before he's able to. Going to be a lot of push and pull from both sides. And I'm curious to see if this lane actually ends up going well. Razor, Earth Spirit versus Oracle. And
Battle begins.
if they mess up too much, Razor's a very slow hero. He can get chased down pretty easily. So yeah, eyes on Gilger to see how much he protects Rasmus.
I feel like that's the wrong play, though, at the same time, because, you know, we have this Razor, but you have Gilger on his Earth Spirit. This is a hero that roams. This is a hero that gets things done. If he's stuck here babysitting the entire time, doesn't that kind of defeat purpose?
A bit for sure. That's why we're seeing a lot of times when people are picking Earth Spirit, they're picking Enigma, Nature's Prophet, these self-sufficient heroes. So I definitely agree with you. But I feel I've seen a lot of times, especially when you're Radiant, you can get your first 2 levels on the Earth Spirit, maybe even the 3rd, and you do that TP play mid, right? You TP, you go in the fog, you gank right away, and then you make your way back to your. So he's got options. But he has to help. He has to stay top. If Rasmus gets left alone, this Razor just chain feed.
I mean, on the flip side of that, too, you know, we haven't seen a whole heck of a lot of Slaughter. I know Boxy's still very, very fond of the hero. He's able to do some really nice things with it. It hasn't been as popular because it's going more for AoE stuff.
Yeah, it's been more about just like, it's all these team fighting off lane. Tide Hunters, like all these, Pango is just big damage coming out with. It's more single target. This is just amping up your carry, giving him that steroid, getting your Roche control as well, too. It's a different approach.
Top lane, Rasmus taking a lot of harass early. Rolls a little bit off the mark here from Gilger. Try to do a little poking over here on the side. Get rooted into place, though. Quite have enough damage just yet. Focus really wants it, though, and there it is. Down goes Gilger, and now Rasmus being hunted by a bear. Does have the link up, though. On the bear just yet, although he has the gold. Buys them, realizing he's gonna definitely need those. Try to juke around here. Does have teleports if he wants to, but walk into Gilger. He's gone so far here, but we'll come back with full health, full mana, and of course the boot.
Accepts his death, but yeah, gets boots at a very nice time. At least Rasmus lives. They get some nice gold. Lane is gonna push into the favor of this race. But yeah, but off the mark from Gilger. Looking at the other lanes, Invoker versus Death Prophet, a nice Death Prophet favored lane for the majority until that level 5 comes out. Then Invoker starts to stabilize, but definitely a bit happier if you are the Death Prophet.
Bottom lane, Dominance taking a lot of harass here from Tofu. They get a nice crush off. Not quite enough damage though to take down Tofu as they'll try to buy a little bit more time. Can they turn this around on Ace? He's got a lot of damage. He's actually forced to run away. Tofu will be able to get the final hit. Skylark not going to be able to get the final hit off though on this Wraith King. In fact, needs to be very careful himself. Tofu, he's poking and plucking over here and he'll be able to slay himself a little fishy.
I love Puck support, honestly. It's so nice having a double nuke as this and just this constant threat and poking. They get ace low, but Tofu's just hitting them higher time. Very nicely done. He attempts for a side pull too. Will get it off. Ooh. Bottom lane in a good position.
Man, Rasmus is just very reliant on Gilger the babysitter here. He didn't get that little kick from him. I think he...
And they're not really slowing down the Ursa at all, which is a bit of a concern. At least they got him the one time when he did die. But yeah, Gilger he has to stay hand-holding here. He will probably check that 4-minute rune, as they do know that Wish has a bottle, and Stormstormer is really in need of some help. It's starting to get a little out of hand in the mid lane.
There's a bit of a dive going on here at Stormstormer. Wish back, try to farm up here that Forge Spirit, the Spirit Siphon Charge. There's no one here to punish Stormstormer. Or sorry, rather to punish Wish, because he's just allowed to hit Stormstormer this entire time. He's so low here. He's too great. Bottom lane, Crush comes out over onto Ace. Do they have enough to kill him? It's looking like they do. Down will go Ace. The king has been slain.
And we do see Gilger check the top rune. And it's impressive that they can actually kill bottom. We always talk about the Wraith King with low armor. He did what you're supposed to do on the Wraith King too. Ring of Protection in chainmail immediately versus these two heavy physical right clickers. Doesn't matter. They get him. Ooh. Meanwhile, top.
Yeah, they recognize the fact that Gilger left to go get the Arcane Room. Weren't quite fast enough to go finish off here on Rasmus. Survive after probably being a little nervous for half a second. It looks like Wish having much better time in the mid lane. 29-2 and 19 and
Yeah, tough matchup. You just always get the lane forced onto you. Invoker always suffers when he's playing versus any type of heroes like this. They kill your, especially if you're going up, especially if you're going exort. They can nuke your Force Spirit as well as you and push the lane. It's just triple benefit. Really hard for Invoker.
The world will hardly notice.
5-minute runes coming up though, so everyone should be able to go refill their bottle. Scan's gonna be used over on the top portion.
Spartan, he's
Looking for
racing him.
Spartan. Yeah, look at him go. He wants to get the other one, and he's gonna be able to get it. They've got nothing to cancel this TP. That's gonna be a sad.
And that's all 4 again, right? Just like last game, they somehow get themselves all 4 bounty runes. Okay.
Rotations, good movement coming out from the side of Brame.
Yeah. The last game they did it on the Radiant side. This time they do it on the Dire. They're able to assert that dominance.
Slower of a game 1 here. Feel like anyone's gas pedal. Rotation coming out now from. Got a ward though, so bond if necessary.
He's making the move with the catapult. Look how Wish is forcing the lane. He's gonna look for the rune too. He has catapult pushing in and he has exorcism. This is a good rotation by Shto. Since their Slaughters are already doing so well bottom, he can actually leave him for a moment. He's already got boots and gloves of haste. He's looking to actually punish this a big push. Drags the creep wave though. Nice move by Stormstormer. We're seeing all the supports rotate.
All the supports are coming in. They know what's coming. They're gonna go root him into place. Follow up here from Shtoman. He's looking for an opening, but the cold snap does prevent him from being able to get his things off. Followed up with the silence from the puck, so it's beautifully done. Gilgir though will fall. But that is a full rotation coming out now from the supports on the side of Hellbear Smashers. Slow down Wish a little bit, and he's taking a lot of damage. He's got the Spirit Siphon, and he's got the Invis.
Nice moves. This time we actually see Hellbear Smashers help Stormstormer, unlike they did not help the other game. They actually rotate both supports to stop that push, and they stop it pretty significantly. Only like 600 damage or so onto that tower.
Right, coming in. It's going to be off the mark. Spartan juking away here. There is Rasmus, though, with the plasma field. Forced to go use the Fairy Fire. They've got the Urn Charge. This is looking like a dead Oracle. If they could ever catch him, they'll have to wait a little bit longer, but eventually, Gilgir will be.
Thank you so much.
Good moves. Good moves. Getting themselves at least, he said, a little more active. 5-3 with this pretty greedy lineup. Still a 1k gold advantage for Brame. Focus is left alone for a second. The Ursa, but he's 6. A lot safer, but Gilgir is kind of stalking him.
I feel like Focus can kind of, well, I guess with the Urn Charge, it makes it. You'd like to go and man up. Just have to be careful because there is a Sun Strike available, so we'll play it safe.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I like this, though. I like seeing the fact that Hellbear Smashers, they're being more aggressive. They're just trying to take their destiny into their own hands. Because last time, it just felt so much that it was just responsive to all the movement going in on the mid lane against the deep.
It really felt like they were doing nothing. They played so passive last game. Never played as a team. As the grab comes out onto Tofu
But
after the orb.
There's no orb. He's gonna die here. It's the SA Spartan joining in. Skylark gets the final hit off.
Ace, he can't help actually. The corrosive haze is out on the Slardar before he hits 6. So look at this Wraith King's armor. He has phase boots, but when he doesn't have when he's not under tower under phase boot, he is very low. Slardar just keeps hitting him up, and yeah, he has to just leave the lane. So now pressure has been placed too much onto him. He has to rotate away, and they're gonna have to try to punish Focus up here. If he just TP'd, if they can kill this Ursa, that would be a really. They have to be ready for any types of. Wish does not have a TP available.
Nice.
They can actually go for.
Roll here from Gilgir, but he's gone too far. He does get the kickoff, but the rest of the team, they're hot on pursuit here. Solomon joining in. Spartan not going to be able to quite make it over. Solomon looking for an opening, trying to get the vision. He needs to be able to go get a Hex, a Shackle, anything, and he doesn't have it. Gilgir is able to walk away.
Be done. Spartan trying to surround on mid. Stormstormer has now hit his power point. Level 8 on the Invoker. Double Forge Spirits online. He can actually hold his tower pretty nicely here versus Wish. And we're seeing again, you mentioned last game about the wards from Brame. Look at them again. Just so much emphasis on having vision around the rotations toward mid.
I love it. Top lane though, Focus gets Sunstruck and some harass, but the Exorcism's out over in the mid lane. Wish trying to just push forward here. Again, you talked about those Forge Spirits, but we've got a Death Prophet. She's got Crypt Swarm. She's going to be able to nuke those bad boys down. Gilgir now is going to have to roll away. So they do take down the tier 1 mid before.
Okay. I guess they didn't want to full out defend the tower since inevitably it'll die. They just keep Tofu bottom to farm while the Wraith King farms top. The sacrifice that they make, it's gonna hurt them a bit though, with like the lack of control now around this whole jungle. It's gonna be difficult. And their team, as we were saying, it's more greedy. They want to be able to sit back and farm. Losing a tier 1 early usually makes it so that you sit back and farm as easily. The enemy team has so many easier ways to actually invade you, to pressure you. A bit of a concern there for them.
It's an Ursa lineup, and you've got yourself a Slardar to boot. You want to be holding onto the towers around there. Too easy otherwise. Although Ace going for a bit of a dive here over onto SSA Spartan, followed up with the Sunstrike. They'll just nuke down Spartan. Pause 5 going down, and that should translate now into a tower push.
Yep, we'll see immediately. On the side of Brame, they move bottom. They don't want to react to this top tower. They want to set up their own move.
Dire's top tower
To
is under
take
attack.
out the majority of this tower. Tofu is in the area though, so maybe Salvage Smasher still wants to defend. It is a full HP tower, but there is a catapult wave.
Is under attack.
See what they look to do.
Dire's top tower is
Oh
under
no, Exorcism back up on Wish just yet, so take away. It's just funny watching Wish and Ace just smack, like just hit the tower. Slow and steady wins the right there. Ace will take the tower down first.
Smashers can't set up for defense on these towers right now. Invoker isn't a hero that really wants to move to be able to mirror the movements of Death Prophet by any means. You just make your own plays around the map. So they're just going to play for the farm. They lose their tower, which sucks. You know, they're losing a little bit more map control. And the really scary thing is that Skylark almost has Blink next. So the pace of the game is really going to start to ramp up. And I see a lot of vulnerable heroes on the side of Hellbear Smashers. They're going to have to be very prepared to counter-gank this Blink Slardar.
Trying to farm up a loop here, Skylark. Damage down, looking for the opening. Was going for the crush, but doesn't quite manage to get it off fast enough before Tofu does. Focus goes to the top lane. He's going to continue to farm up and force Ace away.
Got 3 heroes up here.
Smoked
Focus
up, and
is
they're
being the
rapid.
farm, but yeah, they're looking to set up. They're looking to sandwich onto, I guess, maybe the mid lane. They should look to try to take this tower pretty soon. They lost theirs. Try to get some.
A long walk, long smoke. Wish is over in the mid lane now. Skylark.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Is
I guess
over.
maybe they were hunting for the Slardar or something like that, but.
There's the Blink Dagger delivered now, so.
And also to point out, I don't know if you did actually, I didn't. Stall was just farming Ancients and hard camp like that with his serp. So we see Brame, they're just maximizing for this time. They know that it's a greedy draft from Smashers that can't really pressure or take advantage. So yeah, they're just playing the farm game. And now, yeah, that Blink is online for Sky. They're going to start setting up kills quite frequently. Smashers, they're just playing the farm game. They're just sitting back farming. So they're going to be very vulnerable to all of this.
To see us keep running into Tofu, but of course he's very difficult because you have that chain lockdown. Maybe they can get right.
They don't have
They're
the Serpent
creeping.
Wards.
Clark got the damage down.
This is a very
Try to cancel out
scary
the blink.
place to
He's not
chase.
able to. Top lane though, they do manage to kill Spartan. So they'll take that, and there is backup now. Bottom lane. They chased him for quite a while.
Yeah, they're really posturing as if they had a third hero behind them, even when Wish wasn't just there yet. But they do force the Razor away. They'll lose their Oracle, but they're okay with that.
I feel like generally SSA Spartan and Stolmanen are like moving around together the entire time, so perhaps that's why until they got the vision on Spartan and they got the kill, they're like, oh, it's gonna be, you know, the dynamic duo again.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Or at least wants those Forge Spirits. Tornado. Oh, the follow-up though from Skylark. They've got vision on him. Does throw out a nice deafening blast. Looks like they'll back off. They're happy with this. Gear forced to roll over to the high ground.
Now they're aware of the blink too, which is very nice. They can prepare themselves and set up, but the sandwich is going to come. Death Prophet ult is at the ready. Blink Corrosive Haze. The team fight's going to be really hard, especially if Tofu's not in the right position for it. Gilger, he's stacking and
Oh, they just
Brame
going for
actually making a heads
the
up.
Roche. Interesting.
They can kill this very easily with Corrosive Haze and Serpent Wards. They don't even need to commit Exorcism unless they see the fight coming.
They don't even have the
fight
bear in
coming,
the
they
pit,
can-
Fog. Yes. Yeah, all right. They commit the exorcism now because they know that they're in the pit and they want to make sure that they jump here. Rasmus TPing up. Orb coming in. The roll forward here from Gilgear. Can they get off enough damage to take down this Ursa fast enough? No. Ursa gets killed by Roshan. As now Gilgear next to fall. These ghosts are doing a lot of damage. They'll try to get the ultimate off, and it looks like they do manage to get it over here onto Wish. Skylark will be the one who picks up the Aegis. The rest of the side of Brame forced back here.
At least they got the Ursa for all of it. A beautiful jump in from Gilger. Gets
But Roche
the
got
four-man
the
silence.
hit. I mean, yeah,
Wait,
like
Roche got the
final hit. It was Roshan's revenge.
Oh no.
Yeah, look
All
at
right,
this.
well that's unfortunate.
Watch this, yeah. So he starts ticking down pretty low, and you're gonna watch Gilger roll on in.
Because look,
the
he gets the
magnetize off.
magnetize,
Yep.
spreads it, and gets the silence on the Oracle. It's like a perfect initiation too for them, but they don't have the follow-up immediately.
Look at that. Yep,
and that
Roshan's
Roche.
revenge.
Oh my god. All right.
But on the bright side, right, it wasn't the Ursa who ended up getting the Aegis. It is Skylark, although I'm sure you're still pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
And also,
That
you know,
looked like a
Spartan went down during that, but he did manage to keep Wish alive. He got off the ultimate right at like the last second. Bit of a strange fight.
Yeah, it was just Brame was. It was a very heads-up move from them, right? Just going for the Roche with this corrosive haze. It always makes your lineup able to do this. He's almost level 12 too. It's just a really quick move. Smashers weren't prepared. If they're there a little bit sooner, they get like 1 or 2 more puck orbs to spam. It looks a lot scarier for. Yeah, they just got there a little bit too late toward the end of it. Even though they did get some nice spells, the damage was done.
Dire's middle tower is under
Which tower did Rasmus TP to? Because they still have the tier 1 top too. I'm wondering. Pardon? The D ward off.
Yes, just did that.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I know Rasmus teleported from like the bottom lane, I believe. Sure, if because that T1 was up, was that the reason that they got in there? So yeah, he went to the top T1. They got there so.
Stormstormer is very far forward right now. There's a Slardar with Blink. Surprised he's playing this deeper now, away from his team.
Oh, they know he's there too.
I kind of think he backed away though. Look at the way they're swinging around the back. So him in the trees is actually working out nicely. His TP's gonna come up right now, and he's out of here.
Bit of a risky play, but it paid off.
Very
Lost
risky.
Directly into these forge.
And there's the Radiance.
has been killed.
Okay, not bad. They've gotten themselves away with the 17-minute naked Radiance.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm here. Still feel like the way that like Brame, they need to continue to be very, very aggressive. But I also feel like it's still gonna be a while. Like I don't feel the effect
Dire's
of this
middle
Razor
tower
just.
is under attack.
No, me either. I don't think that he did the job that he wanted to about slowing down the Ursa's farm. Ursa's Battle Fury's had a pretty good metric, pretty good timing and all that too. So
And it's blink as well. So like that blink initiation
Yeah.
coming out from Slardar, from Ursa,
Dire's
and then you
bottom
just
tower
have the rest of the crew sit back. Tough. I do like the Yule's pickup, but how close are we? What are we looking at now for the Shadow Shaman?
he's
Okay,
just
so
going the lens shard build.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
going
just-
shard though.
Yeah, shard's
I love
best
that.
build.
It's so
Especially
fun.
with corrosive haze, you get the bonus damage to everybody with the minus armor, so it's really nice.
Goes on through the mid lane. I like this though. Look how tight they're playing for the most part. The
Yeah.
only one who's off to the side is of course the Wraith King, but everyone else seems to be kind of huddled together. I think that was a problem. Smoke
There's a
coming out. Roll forward.
One, yeah.
No one there. But they do manage to
Rasmus.
find themselves someone over here on the side. They go and they drop the Serpent Wards, and Focus is just slicing through Rasmus here. Down he goes. They'll go get the shackles off as well. This is not looking good for Gilger as he's next to fall. The Exorcism is online, and they're hunting for whatever else they can grab. Look at Skylark. He's waiting patiently. Can he grab anyone? Puck, of course, very difficult to go, but he's really hoping that he will stick around. He's hiding over in the tree line. They don't have the vision on him. They do ping out. They think he's over there, but he's already teleported out, and they'll turn this into a tower push.
Radiant structures.
If they cannot miss their initiation like that, they just instantly get turned on. And sure, you have Razor, who, if he gets Link, he can be strong. But with these Blink daggers, as you were saying, you know, Slardar, Ursa, they eat Razor alive, especially if they get those type of opportunities. Can't be making too many mistakes like that. This Razor, he's really going to start falling behind with what he's up against. The Death Prophet's always just going to be able to kill him super quick. Ursa, with Blink, he should never really get linked for the most part too, unless he's very out of position. This is a concern for Hellbear Smashers, because it's just a lot of farm that they're going to need for their heroes, and it's It's maybe just hoping that Ace and Stormstormer can carry with their hero. That's it.
Rasmus? Gilgir revealing themselves. You have to be careful though. The other side of the Hellbear Smashers are their way over Skylark. Without Ace, you can see that the puck's nearby, and it feels like they just back off. Potentially go for a smoke play and try to wrap around, but a nice vision over Triangle as well.
Still no exorcism for Brame. They're trying to play around that timing mostly in fights. With that, they have way stronger fight every time. Seconds until that, and Hellbear Smashers, they cannot take too much advantage of it. They're trying to right now, though. Pushing up top, trying to force this reaction. Brame make a mistake.
Just feel like Stormstormer is playing a completely separate game from this. You get that feeling?
That's how he does this Invoker a lot of the time. It's just the bots Midas Blink BKB. It's the same build every single time. But he is going to be an Alacrity for his Wraith King later, so he will join in later and he will have that impact. A lot of time to Skylark. He's pretty much has BKB now on Ursa too. So BKB Death Prophet, BKB, oh sorry, on the Slardar, not the Ursa. Skylark almost has
like,
that.
oh my
double
God.
BKB. He's gonna make the fights really hard. Like Puck and Earth Spirit and Invoker fully countered then when those BKBs are out. Skylark.
Oh, a whiffed Dream Coil.
You'll die.
Skylark's gonna be pretty happy about that, even though he's not showing it at all.
Stone Cold Killer.
But
so I think, yeah, right after Skylark picks up this BKB, I want to see Brame just be super active. I feel like their team fight is just unbelievably more powerful right now than Hellbear Smashers. They counter the full supports are countered. The Invokers counter now when they do pop their BKB. I think they can really do it. They can really kick the pace.
Oh,
they are about to have another BKB.
Silence the root, everything in the kitchen sink, and all of a sudden there's no Dream Coil to be afraid of, Hogged.
Yeah. All these timings are coming together. Even, yeah, Ursa's BKB now coming too. So triple BKB on the cores to counter out majority of magic damage that's coming out from Smash. Even the Radiance, Wraith King's right clicks are going to be strong, but the Radiance burn is going to be neglected too. Rasmus.
Okay, does have the Yules, but the rest of the team is quickly collapsing here. Skylark, I'm surprised that he's letting him walk away, perhaps because he sees this little stack over here and can take that instead, but there is a BKB pick now for Mr. Bear. I just feel like problem with the way that Stormstormer is playing this is that now they all have BKBs, so yeah, you're an Alacrity, but you're just an Alacrity now. Okay, there we go. We have some initiation coming in. He's got his BKB, though. He gets a nice two-man crush off. Wish and Spartan will just escort him out. Need to be careful because I'm sure the Dream Coil's coming out. Tofu, he's got two of them all leashed up, but they go and use the Exorcism, and they even manage to go and use all of the other spells too. The BKB comes out. This is going to be a dead Spartan, but he's already managed to get that heal up over just in case he takes too much damage and he gets hexed up. Down goes Stormstormer. Over on the side, they'll be able to hold Shackle into place. Can they get this kill on Gilgir? No, they'll lose no, but didn't burst, but then they'll take down Gilgir as now Tofu will get chased down by Focus. And now Ace running for his life here as he's just being chased off. Skylark a little bit off the mark, though. Oops. Ace will be able to blink away.
Yep, they just got effectively ran at. Even though they're the ones who started the fight in both situations, jump Skylark. These BKBs are out. They counter pretty much all of Smashers. They just reset. Good coil. It catches the two there, but Spartan just throws the Oracle ulti onto that Death Prophet, and Death Prophet with BKB Oracle ulti just charges. Stormstormer can't do anything. He literally just had to full out run away because I don't believe he had his BKB on him, and he just died. This fight's going to be pretty hard. Versus just all those golden heroes. There's not a whole lot that they can do. They're going to have to play a lot of poke and prod to force the BKBs now somehow. And collapse is just too scary. They died way too fast. They're way too fragile on this side right now.
But how do you make this work? How do you put that pressure down? Because it doesn't feel like in the past, Puck and Earth Spirit can be very scary, but it doesn't feel like we've got that pressure. They'll go for a full man smoke, though. Follow up, so they should be able to go get the kill on Skylark.
Nice. This is the right move. It's Exorcism's down. You have to play around this Exorcism timing as much as possible for Smashers because too much for you to deal with these last few moments. So they're still keeping themselves in a good spot. It's only less than 1K gold lead for Brame. Experience significant for Brame, but these pickups, that's where Wraith King thrives.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And he is still a beast. He's still very farmed in this game.
Oh, for sure. I feel like, despite it feels a little one-sided, but it's still a very tight game.
It is. Yeah.
Like a one side of Brame, and they are supposed to be more of the aggressive side because, you know, the longer this game goes, the bigger Ace gets.
Oh, Roche is up, and there's still Exorcism down for 12 seconds. No Slardar either. They might just get away with this here. And there's that Alacrity on Ace.
There you go.
He shreds through the Roche.
They get over there. You can see there's some pings coming out. I feel like they're in any sort of a rush to get over. They might just be able to get this. It's easy. Scan. Ursa needs to be careful. He's blinking forward immediately. The puck silencing up. They need to get in there. They need to get in there fast. Skylark jumping forward. Does manage to go over on the side. They'll be able to get that Dream Coil off, but Stormstormer grabs up that Aegis. Wish he's got the Exorcism. They're chasing around here. They do manage to trap over on the side. Gilger not going to be able to survive this. Rasmus going to go down. And now Wish is on the hunt. He would love to grab Ace, but where's your catch here? Okay, we got a Yules. That'll buy us enough time. Skylark blink forward there with the crush. They follow up. Down he goes. Buyback's going to be coming out from both the Razor and the Earth Spirit. The Hex comes out. They do so much damage to that one, plus the Shard.
God.
They just kill Ace. No buyback on him. Oh, Rasmus, you have to be so careful. You just bought back. You can't afford to go down like this. Spirit Siphon, these ghosts are just ripping through him, but they do back off. There are still a tier 1 and a tier 2 still up in that lane.
A relentless chase forward. As soon as BKBs get popped, Exorcism gets popped, Hellbear Smasher's in full retreat. They still can't fight versus this. Lose Ace. And Stormstormer, he just has to watch. He used all his mana on the Roche. He used Sunstrikes, Forge Spirits, Alacrities. He was out of mana. Even then, he couldn't contribute much of anything as he's making a move bottom. He's got the grab.
Look at Stormman, and he's like, yeah, no, you're not getting out of here. Although it does turn around with the Deafening Blast, so he'll get his kill over onto Stormman.
I mean, that was so risky from Stormstormer. If he dies there, he probably dies the twice. That was super high risk, low reward.
Perhaps the pressure getting to them. I mean, he also does just play like this occasionally, like you said.
He does.
Skylar, blink forward, kick back though. Immediately throwing out the sides. BKB comes out though. They try to chase him down, hoping they can get a bash. They get a bash over onto Gilger, but you have to be careful. They're taking a decent amount of harass here from the...
And next fight now, we're seeing Wish. He's gonna have a full Shivas, picked up on Death Prophet, level 18 for level 3 Ghosts, and an Arcane Rune. So the next one is looking pretty tough for Hellbear Smashers too. They have to try to address this Oracle in the backlines. This Spartan's been very annoying, and I haven't really clicked on Spartan in some time, but it would be him who has 3 fluffy hats himself.
Yeah, well, you know, look at that health.
Yeah.
Very, very healthy Oracle, right?
They've got a lot of good ways to be able to take fights though on Smashers, and that's what I'm looking for them doing in most of these engagements and getting into the back. They have Earth Spirit, they have Puck, they have these great ways to get on this back Oracle, back Shadow Shaman. They have to do that so that they can protect Ace and protect Stormstormer, as they've been struggling quite a bit here. Ace, AC, Blink, Cheese, Cloak of Flames. He's very strong now. Same thing with Stormstormer. They have everything at the ready soon.
I feel like Gilgear always gets just... that, but I feel like Gilgear is like one of the top priorities in these fights. It feels like he's one of the first to go down, besides Rasmus. Rasmus also those heroes that unfortunately gains a lot of attention.
Was most welcome.
Yeah, Gilgar, he's rolling in. You're asking for. So that's what happens as an Earth Spirit, unfortunately.
Yeah. Play a little bit though. Purge it off. Spartan hiding over in the tree line there. Ace though, jumping forward. Might need a little bit of a save here for focus. There it is. Spartan throws it out. Dream Coil will come through as well. Tofu needing to be careful. Does have a Yule's focus. Will turn his attention. Is he going to be able to do anything here to this puck? It feels like yes, he is. Stay alive after that gank. And over on the side, they manage to find themselves Gilgear again with that Exorcism. Spider legs. Wish is hoping he can grab someone else, but keep on wishing.
They full disengaged. It was just the 2 supports that died. It is some time, 60 seconds, but Exorcism's down. I don't know if they saw, though. It was an Arcane Rune mentioning before. So it's going to be back up a lot faster for Wish. I think somebody killed his courier
earlier, yes.
Too. Yeah,
it was the recipe.
Yeah. Okay, so it was the Shiva's recipe. Decent little exchange there. The cores didn't die, so they're happy on the side of Smash. And Exorcism was traded. So when they respawn, they're probably going to look to go again. But that's going to be met by another Exorcism. Might catch them off.
Blink now picked up on... We've got a lot of Blink initiation and Blink follow-up coming side of Brame. Like you said.
Dominant and Skylark can kill heroes pretty easily by themselves now. Double blinks with Serpent Wards and Corrosive Haze is extremely threatening.
For that perfect opening. Starts to search forward a little bit. Wants better angle. View.
25 seconds until Exorcism.
Smashers might be respecting this. Back off a little.
Yep, they keep control of both outposts as well too, so no experience going toward the way of done. Very close game.
Yeah, I definitely like closer games more than I like Stomp. 55% chance for the Radiant, 45% for the Dire. Flipping
Yeah,
a
yesterday
little
I was
bit.
so excited, and I got all stomps when I was...
It's okay, we got you here in the lower div pod. This is big though. The Abyssal Blade picked up.
Yeah, that control through the BKB in particular for Stormstormer is going to be there now.
Ace continues bigger. He's on par pretty much with the net worth of the Ursa. Again, the later this game goes, the better it looks for the side of the Hellbear Smashers.
Definitely feels it's all coming together where they don't have to rely so much around one big thing, right? Where it feels like Brame just, they have to have Exorcism or they just are nowhere near the realms of looking to fight.
Right.
It does feel like that. Smashers are getting a good scaling reach for it. Stormstormer.
Reveals himself. Skylark is nearby though, goes in. Oh, doesn't quite yet, but they have the Abyssal Blade. And they just blow up Stormster. He's absolutely toast here. They'll turn back around. They've got their eyes on Ace. BKB comes out. They'll also try to keep Skylark alive. Like that Oracle ulti coming out from Spartan. They'll disarm the Wraith King for a little bit. He's still ticking down though to the Radiance. He is effectively burning to death.
Gilgir.
So he goes down, but over on the side, they find Gilgir. And Skylark was already, he was just bottom. And now all of a sudden, he just wanders on in and says, ah, cool, dude. They're holding him in place.
Gilgir was scouting their movements and just watching. He's probably telling his teammates like, yo, Ace, careful how far you chased. They're cutting you off. Death Prophet's making his way down, and he just caught Blink Shaman, revealed very quickly. And we see the damage coming in. The nice shackles with those Serpent Wards with the Haze is strong.
Dude,
and now we're almost
brought back.
You're right.
I feel like he's tilting a little bit.
Wait, why did he buy back?
He was unhappy that he wasn't there for the fight. I don't know.
Oh,
Does not look
God.
like a happy man.
No, that's concerning for sure. He was having some good momentum for his Hex too.
Yeah.
He's like at 3,500 gold. He just, okay, that hurts him a lot. And now it's such a big window for Brame. It's like they're probably just eyeing, looking wherever Stormstormer shows, go hunt for him. They kill him. He's gone for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, he's got to be so careful here. Look at that dip.
Illusion.
His way up into the top portion of the dip. Skylark is going to get
Nice
jumped on
Skylark.
here by Ace. There's a roll forward coming out from Gilgir, so they'll find themselves a nice pickoff. Pretty happy
Nice
with
chain
that.
stun.
Ooh. Some of them was all smoked up over on the side there, but forced back to the rest of the side of Brame. Smoke over on the Oracle and the Death Prophet.
Dire's middle tower.
Seconds without their big initiator though, and he does, even though he doesn't provide a lot of damage himself, he's the control and he's Corrosive Haze, so it's, in a way it is a lot of damage.
They're almost a little scared to go forward. See that puck is in the bottom lane. Bottom creep waves and that Stormstormer also teleported home, so they're not going to get much off of that, unfortunately. Side of Hellbear Smashers, they all back off.
Get themselves the net worth advantage for the first time, I believe, in the game though, at least.
It's less than 1K. Let's not bring out the party horns yet, Fogg.
Small gains.
Small gains, though.
Nice.
True.
They did get, it is feeling like they finally got themselves some map control, get themselves across the river, get themselves one ward will take, but they got all these lanes forced out and they're already scouting, getting the couriers in row, preparing themselves for the next step. And it is giving just it's time where I'm looking at the buyback cooldown of the Invoker down to 5 minutes.
How they play. Definitely starts to feel we're getting that little bit of a shift. This Wraith King is bigger and scarier, and they're finding nice opportunity. I have to say, Ace has been seriously impressing me.
Yeah, he's done great. This game in particular, he got super fast radiance. He wasn't shut down. He's playing his own game, and it's important for a carry player to always be able to do that. The courier's starting to get hunted. I saw Skylark scouting out the opposing couriers with his.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Lark holding on to this gen rune. Bit.
Okay, Wish goes for an item that we've seen in the past with Oracles. Gets the Blink Dagger now in Death Prophet, as you can blink while false promised. And I think he really wants to just get in the midst of these fights. He's not feeling like he's getting pressured at all this game. It's 7-0-5 on deep, and he's just having trouble sticking on these targets. Blink, he'll be able to just get into the midst of everything, and then the Death Prophet, the Exorcism will be very threatening.
A lot of high stakes here around the pit.
So,
What's up?
Dire's courier.
Courier does spot it out. Skylark's courier goes down. See that Brame are already starting to get into position. See who gets the jump on who here. Eyes. Abyssal Blade picked up for the Wraith King as well. Having those BKB pierced stuns.
yeah, Rasmus also has his own BKB too, so he can actually stick on targets a lot easier now as this Razor. He's tankier too. He has a plate mail and the Elven tunic, so he actually might get his good links off in these fights now because of all these pickoffs.
Here,
Focus.
teleporting back up to that T1 that's still there. You have the Fury swipes on though. Rasmus, Ace going in. It's immediately though the Hex followed up and down goes the Rush. It goes over to the side of the Dire, but there's so much damage here. Focus is just trying to stay alive as they get the shackles up. They get the Serpent Force too. Rasmus goes down. Gilgir also to go down. They've just got the Oracle ultimate off, keeping him alive. Focus is absolutely fine. That is the reincarnation as the Wraith King. Forced to run away now. And Ace, I don't think he's gonna make it out this time, Fog. I think there's too many ghostly ladies, snakes, spirit siphons, and big old bears that just want him dead.
I'm waiting for this fight recap. Look at the cleave damage. The three of them were lined up perfectly. He's literally just swinging at them, cleaving them. He gets the cheese, he gets the refresher shard. He's Oracle ulted, pops the cheese while Oracle ulted. Nobody picked up the Aegis during that entire time. He picks up the Aegis afterwards too, while cleaving them during the entirety. You couldn't have asked for a better fight for Brame. Everything is just wailing on everyone, all trapped inside the pit from Serpent Wards with an exorcism flowing.
Did Wish get the refresher shard?
Focus grabbed all three. He passed it over to Wish.
Yeah, I saw that he had it in his eye. I just wasn't sure. I figured that would be the best candidate. Here, you still don't have the Wraith King or Razor here for a bit. No buyback on either one of them. That's definitely, on the bright side,
Tofu?
They're only going to be able to take...
Has fallen.
They're hunting him. He actually scurries past the two supports. They're going to turn around right when they see
yeah, look at this, Focus. He's looking, Stallman, hoping he can go and grab him. But again, he's
space.
All right, let's look at this. Let's look at this cleave damage because there's a lot going on in this
Look,
pit.
it's beautiful. Just look, he picks up. So there he picks up Cheese Refresher.
Yep.
Aegis is still on floor. Look at this cleave damage. He's cleaving these two heroes perfectly. Then the Puck jumps in to join. He's like, hey, cleave me as well. While the Serpent Wards and Staw, of course, with the grab on the Earth Spirit, completely kills the initiation and counter initiate. It was just the dream fight for Brame. Every spell couldn't have been cast better.
Definitely, they said during their interview they felt a little bad. They felt like, we haven't been performing as well as we could. And, right now, Gilgir hoping that he doesn't sneeze because very scary people. I would say that Brame's making their fans pretty proud right now.
Definitely. And just, I'm loving Staw. Like Stawman, I didn't really know about him before this circuit at all. His 4-position play has been on point. He knows exactly what targets to focus fire. In this game, he's actually just ruining Gilgir's life. Gilgir tries to get all these fun rolls, magnetize, spread, etc.
Oh my god. Oh, we've got two fights going on over here. Ace, though, is trying to man-fight the bear, and he's not looking like he's going to be able to win it. As Rasmus in the top lane, they go and they drop the Serpent Wars. BKB comes out from Rasmus. You're going to have to... No, he's not going to be able to make it out alive here as the reincarnation pops over onto the Wraith King.
There is
Stormer. Oh, the Lincolns. But he's forced to run away. He just got totally spooked by that.
Oh my god,
Gilgir gets silenced. They're hunting. Where are you? Not gonna be able to quite grab him though. God, there was so many things happening at once. God, yeah. I do think the reincarnation, I think I heard it getting popped though.
Yeah, Focus was right on top of him. He just focus fired Ace really hard, and that's what Ursa can do versus Wraith Kings. Doesn't matter how tanky he is, alive, especially with Rage. And he has the shard too. Actually, some people really don't like the shard. I actually love it on the Ursa in particular. And just a great fight. Yeah, they separate them up.
Oh no. Oh dear. Oh.
Gilder won't get out with his life.
That flicker. Oh, and they get the gem. Not only did they murder him, Fog, they mugged him too.
Well, they don't have any words on the map anyway at least, so they won't lose any vision.
the right side of it. Well, it's not like they had any wards there, so you cracked me up.
I gotta look for something here. It just turned completely. Like that was the hope for Hellbear Smashers too in that last fight where they're setting up around Roche. Like that was the beginning of what felt like the comeback for them, but Brame just smacks it down. And now the right's outside the base and just push forward.
Don't care. All right, they'll get the save off. Spartan just allowing Focus to keep running forward. We'll blink back, though. Join with Wish. I would like to point out the fact that Snowman has a BKB on his position for Shaman, too. So Aegis does fall in the back. The bear back up and running.
He's going to continue just ruin the Earth Spirit's game. I'm going to watch Shadow Shaman next fight. Him just blink BKB, Shackle, Hex, the Earth Spirit. Or the Puck, either one of them, if you can find them, will be huge. The Puck probably a better target if he's able to see it, because Tofu does have Ags now, which could be a bit annoying for these mobile forests on this side of Brame.
And you
I'm just not feeling the damage kicking in really for the Hellbear Smashers lineup. They're negated because they're the ones getting jumped on all these times. There's too much stuff going on in the fights. You said it's the game of circles, right? There's Serpent Wards, Exorcisms. These battles are just not easy.
Look how fast they turned around. Okay, they drop a ward over there. Blink gets picked up now on Spartan. Like, so wealthy, Fog.
Positioning King.
All right.
They find the Ursa.
Okay, you've leashed up a bear. What are you going to do now? All right, they follow up. We got the Exorcism, though, coming out from Wish. He sat his eyes over to Stormer. Bear running forward, hoping that they can go and grab anyone. Gilgear roaming on out. So they do force out the Exorcism. That is
good.
A bright side going to the side of Hellbear Smashers, but...
Great disengage. They still have the Refresher Shard, I believe, on Wish, so he still has a secondary one. So he will be ready for that one. And geez, they actually have so much gold, too. I didn't even notice all the items picked up. Skylark, AC, 3,000 gold, 7,000 on Wish. They haven't spent pretty much anything that they picked up from the last fight. And now they'll finish full items. Full Octarine on Wish, I assume he's going to buy.
Man, everything enough Brame right now. I have to say, you know, I'm saying I've been very impressed with AC that he can here. He's farming up. He's trying to go as fast as he can. So hard when your map is just so closed off from the way that Brame plays.
Brame on point 2. They scan, catches them perfectly focused.
Look at Focus.
Standing in the front. Yeah, he knows.
Like,
he's like, I have Enrage. I'm level 26.
All right. They'll take the bait. The jump in, though, from Skylark onto the back line as they go, and they try to just glove Stormer. Not going to be able to quite do it that quickly as he's got the BKB. But over here on the side, Snowman just holding in place over here. Turned right back around. Ace, yeah, you know, the BKB was cute, but not going to have enough HP to survive the bash coming out from Ace. So Snowman does fall. Buybacks are coming out, though. Razor Snowman as well. Tofu goes down. No buyback on this Puck. Brame still looking, still trying to steamroll right back through. They'll hold him into place. Nice. Roll forward, though, over here, coming out from Wish as he takes him down. There's buyback. Ace now trying to man fight. Can't hit Spartan, though, especially when he's hexed and when there's a Ghost Scepter. Eventually, he does pop, though, as he's coming right back in. Again, the hold coming out, trying to get some of these wards down as fast as possible, trying to get them into position. Silence coming out. This is not looking good for Ace. He's taking too much damage. He'll turn back around. He'll set up the bear. Looks like Skylark will fall. Another stone being thrown out over onto Focus. Gilgear looking. He's going to try to roll to be able to go throw out the tornado. Focus is left all alone now, and they'll finally be able to take down a bear. Rasmus with the triple kill.
They finally get a fight that actually can go in their favor. They did such a good job of splitting it up and splitting up all of Brame, kiting out the Exorcism, kiting out the Ursa, kiting out the Slardar. Stormer's actually able to cast spells in a fight for once. He gets off his full arsenal like 2 or 3 times, and they do a great job of just dancing between. That was nicely done, and a good buyback from Rasmus.
Well, definitely paid off with a trip.
Yeah, he needed that for his game not to get completely shut down, but they needed that in general for all of them. Ace almost does drop, but they end up winning the fight. Big hit. That was the refresher, I believe, was used from Wish for that second Exorcism too.
The Octarine spell prisms. It's going to be back up very quick. Very difficult for. It's definitely gaining momentum. The 8K net worth lead over to the side of Brame.
Yeah,
I
but
think
some nice gold too, right? Like we see Wraith King now with 5k, Invoker also with another 5.5, so they can finish up their set of items too. Back on the map, push out lanes too. They did not get the gem back, did they?
I don't believe. The hex, they go and they commit, so they'll be able to get maybe a nice pickup over here on the puck, but they do manage to go and hold Gilgear into place. So down goes Tofu. Looks like Gilgear's gonna be next. Dominant over here on the side, getting chased by Rasmus. Wish trying to do whatever he can with these ghostly ladies. They'll be able to take down Dominant as well. Fuel's coming out. But again, they force out the exorcism. They kite.
And they just dance on him too. He's not able to really find anybody after they just jump in and assassinate his two supports. Chorus just keep surviving.
Time they survive, they get a little bit.
Well-gotten gains.
Attention gonna be on the next Roche. Courier's flying over and scouting. We're getting those buybacks kicking in. 60 seconds, no Earth Spirit buyback, 70, no Shadow Shaman. They're actually on the death clock.
Pops the BKB over here on Wish. Jump forward though, coming out for the bear, followed up with a beautiful crush. Ace, he's taking too much damage. He just goes down so quickly as Rasmus next to fall. This is not looking good here. They're just gonna chase him down. They're looking for the silence to crush everything that they can, and it looks like they should be able to take down this Wraith King. They need another hit, and there it is. Down he goes for 99 seconds. Rasmus done for 107. The only one alive here is, of course, Stormer, and Roche is up, Fog, so...
Lovely buybacks and lovely jump there. Even though they're the ones under vision, it's the 3 strong cores, as we said, for Brame that was still alive. They just BKB blinked down, and now it's 2 cores with... They're dead for 80 seconds. And if this refresher now also picked up on Wish, so 2 sets of exorcisms. Great jump forward by them, and maybe Hellbear Smashers just getting their foot off the pedal for a second there, and that's all it can take in some of these games in the later stages. One slip up and you just lose your base.
Got the reaction timing coming out from Skylark after Focus jumped in. It was just so... Oh, Tofu, hello?
Tofu? Oh my god. Now
taking lessons from Spartan there. Exorcism is up, obviously, though. Here, Wish is going to place some damage down. Are they just going to go for the full-on victory?
I don't see why not. There's no Razor, and they have 2 sets of Exorcism.
Yeah, Deafening Blast does get tossed out here. Positioning is so good. Silence.
Shaman's coming too. Serpent Wards on top of the Exorcism on the tier 4.
Oh, the jump forward over onto Stormer. He's going to have to... Oh, the bash coming out now. Can he get back into his base in time? Looks like he's going to be able to, but the damage is being done right now. The buyback's coming out now from Tofu. I don't know what this little puck can hope to do. There's so much damage. How do you get out there, Tofu? He's trying. The GG gets called. Brame, they wandered into the jungle, and they slew themselves some Hellbears.
Passing over the refresher shard to the Shadow Shaman at the end there. Double Serpent Wards, eviscerate the towers, eviscerate that Ancient as well. And just a good back and forth game from Hellbear Smashers. It felt like they were really just playing around that farm game. As we kind of said, it was a very greedy draft where they did get away with some stuff, but Brame, they played really well around their Exorcism. They did some great fights around that Roche.